Welcome back, friends. It is Thursday, Friday Eve, which means it is time for our mental health segment, right? Mental Health Thursday it is. This week's focus surrounds a group in South Bend with the goal of building and empowering men.
We are talking about Men's Talk, a safe space for real conversation. So joining us now is the president of the group. You got Levi Lewis. He's joined by Nestor Gomez and Robert Emerson. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Levi, let's start with you. We've had conversations about this group for years, but for those who don't know, talk about what Men's Talk is all about.
So Men's Talk is an organization that was created just to give men a safe space to be able to talk about things that are going on with them. And it's developed into something larger where we're able to talk about life experiences, where we're able to connect and grow.
That's you. And Nestor, we were talking in the foyer not too long ago. Yeah. You've been with him along his side during this entire venture. Talk about the experiences you've had.
I've grown in so many ways, through as a man, but also as a husband, wife, you know, with my children, a father. So there's so many things that I've grown through Men's Talk that, and people see it. They saw the difference, you know. Yeah,
and Levi, you know, you have a law enforcement background, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that and how you use that for Men's Talk.
So, being that this is probably my 27th year with corrections and working with law enforcement, I've learned a lot about different backgrounds and different people and different characters, but really dealing with men. And I always try to stay on the encouragement side of always uplifting them to see if they're going to be okay in a great mental space. And it's pretty easy to be able to give that out because those men that usually receive it, they need it. And so I try to give it from an area of being authentic about our conversation, being transparency about things.
And Levi, you've known Robert. Robert, you've known Levi for a very long time, since you were 18, several years ago. You guys met, and now you're a part of Men's Talk. Can you talk about that history between you and Levi and why you wanted to be a part of this group?
Well, I knew Levi for that long, and he always been a good guy. I had a troubled past, but when I changed my life, and I had a void that needed to be filled, and that's what Men's Talk ended up doing. I ended up, by the grace of God, seeing Levi. He gave me a card, and I started going, and that was the void I needed to help me become a better man and fill in that spot. That because I had to cut off old friends and really change my life, you know, and all I had, you know, I got my family, and Men's Talk was that support that I needed.
You really are so inspirational. I know a lot of times it's statistically this way. Men don't like to talk about their feelings, right? Or they feel maybe ashamed, like, hey, no, I gotta be tough, I gotta hide that in. Do you feel that?
Oh, clearly, that was one of the reasons, but it develops a space where men can talk, and it's not just the facilitators, but it's each man contributes into our conversation.
Wow.
It's a 1 hour event, and then we talk after we close, and then we'll, if we continue, we'll talk to individuals on the side, or if they need something. And Levi has like different resources where he can go to, we can recommend people for help.
Levi, this isn't just a moment, this is for a lifetime. Once you're involved in this group, you grow connections and network with people, and you become different yourself. Talk about when you meet, how often per month, things like that.
So we're meeting right now twice a month. We're meeting at 4210 Lincoln Way West, which is the Beacon. Jeff Walker is a part of us. And so he's been a great support, so he allows us to use the building. We meet at 10 o'clock in the morning. We also meet on the fourth Saturday of the month at One Roof, which is 405 East Dubell Street.
How can people support? How can people actually be a part of it, whether they're a part of the group themselves or say, hey, look, I want to give money to help out, to help this group? Because you came up with this idea on your own with help with your wife, of course.
So we have our website, you know, gets information. We also have our P.O. box on there if you want to send a check in. Those finances are used for operational things. We have an annual cookout that we do every year. We have an annual conference, and sometimes people aren't able to come to the dinner, and so we're able to sponsor some people to come to the dinner. The cookout is a community thing, so everyone is invited to the cookout. So those finances are used for those things. Plus, we have a Fish for Life with the youth that we do every year in August, where we provide the youth with fishing accessories, and we take them fishing so they're able to learn some things.
And of course, what's it like to hear these guys talk about what the program has meant and what it's done for their lives?
It's very inspiring because it was not a walk in the park, but it was very worth it because I believe that the bigger picture is the youth needs to see a strong, solid support from the men. A lot of times they can be inconsistent with seeing how the men talk, how they get along, but we try to show a solid what men look like, you know, from different backgrounds and different cultures to different men experiences, life experiences, and then we grow together.
Man is not a monolith, and I think that's what you're showing is that we're all different, but we can all talk about it.
Yes.
And I think that's huge. Thank you all, Robert, Nestor, and Levi. You guys are godsend.
Thank you.
You really are.